You're listening to My Band Rocks, an audio biography, and my name is Keir Dubois. I'm not a real musician, but I play one on the internet. Since 1996, I've been a bassist and lyricist in several Southern California bands and side projects. The Mojo Wire, Honey White, Low Tide, Rad Blaster, and my own solo releases. In this podcast, I'm going to tell you all about it. And in this episode, I talk about Seaside Hamlet Skids by the Mojo Wire, my first band's third demo album.
Don't know that I'm feeling here, but I know I go wrong.
Trouble in Paradise is one of the oldest, most superficial cliches in the history of popular songwriting. Exposing the nasty, poisonous underbelly of some idyllic Shangri-La is thematic gold, and every songwriter gets seduced by its charms sooner or later. As a rebellious impulse, though, it wears out pretty quick. Righteous anger and smug superiority don't have much of a half-life, even if they go down easier with plenty of sweetness slathered on top. For better and worse, that was how the Mojo Wire tackled our third album, crossing escapist disillusionment with loosely focused semi-acoustic surf noir to create Seaside Hamlet Skids. During spring and summer 1998, my brother Bryn Dubois, his best friend Adam Hill, and I were in rebuild and regroup mode, chilling out after the previous year's frantic activity. Our unfinished second disc, Rocket Fuel Malt Liquor, stuck out like a sore thumb and was already aging poorly, so we steadily collected new tunes while spending a few months apart. Bryn and Adam refined several Isla Vista created songs on multiple Baja California treks, jamming around crowded campfires in the middle of nowhere. Their tunes I Fly Free, So Cold, Key West Tapwater, The Ratlands,
Look at all the pretty people dancing in the bars. Look at all the homeless sleeping underneath the stars. Down in the Ratlands.
Baja Blues,
Singing the Baja Blues. Coming back this summer. No, gotta find a place where
and Run Back to Me.
run back. So tired I know that it's hard to see.
Told tales of hapless characters marooned by fortune and screwed by circumstances. Back in Isla Vista, I hunkered down at the bedrock to wallow in my own self-absorption after a roller coaster of personal relationship crises. I churned out sub-sane screeds like How Far Away, Sunset Down,
Spinning like a toy, I saw they destroy you. Have no idea what you did to me, and lately you're so sure.
and in a marathon 6-hour fit of inspiration, The Shivering Sand.
Give me your hand. Give me your hand.
come up with bouncy music and pretended that solved my problems. We had plenty of new material, but lacked a drummer after Brandon Klopp departed for Arizona. So we decamped to Orange County in September 1998 for a session with our old pal Kevin Narrison behind the kit. Kevin was our original Mojo Wire drummer back when we called our band The Clap in 1996. He helped us power through initial versions of the new 1998 songs, and even nailed a frenzied, tossed-off cover of Wipeout that proved strong enough to earn its place on the finished album. When we returned to the bedrock in Isla Vista, however, we struggled to polish off the raw tracks using our rudimentary self-taught recording skills. School, work, and Ivy's usual social hazards pushed the project into 1999, and by then we'd added 2 more tunes to the running order. My new ballad, Pisces Lullaby, and a jittery instrumental with layers of keg party noise called Rocked by the Magnum.
Whoa. Howdy. Okay?
The songs hung together comfortably as a whole, but each of us used our lyrics to pull the album's story back and forth between several different moods. Adam indulged in some sun-fried malaise by shamelessly blending Jimmy Buffett with his own pop sensibilities and amazing gift for melody, resulting in arguably his best Mojo Wire song, Key West Tapwater. Earning its album opening slot with a potent pill of casual and different escapism, Key West Tapwater condensed the album's themes into 2 minutes of snappy verse-chorus-bridge glory. The song's narrator claims a life on the coast is a life without cares, but admits that, I don't know what I'm doing here, before covering that with, but I know I can't go wrong.
Don't know what I'm doing yet, but I know I can go wrong.
It's bravado on paper, and similar sentiments pervade his other tunes like Baja Blues.
Went down last week just to get a peek of my life from a different view. Explain what went on while we were gone. I got it only they knew.
And Run Back to Me.
Listening to music on my car radio. It's our song, but I don't know how it goes.
But Adam sang them like hollow real estate taglines, tourism office slogans, and Johnny Cash selling greeting card copy. And he totally nailed each one.
And I hope you'll run back to me.
Bryn stepped up his game for this album too. He wrote I Fly Free, his best song on the album, while stuck in LA traffic. A shimmering slice of surf folk, it dragged a dashed relationship over the coals, with several nods to Paradise Lost for good measure.
Money expects evil, inspires good. I still won't bow my head as I fly free. Wind sits me, I won't be stripped. Won't have my wings clipped. I won't let down on mine.
Another Bryn tune, So Cold, began life at the end of our rocket fuel sessions, inaugurating Bryn's tradition of starting new strong songs after the record's done.
Now you've grown so old.
Then Bryn sang the Ratlands himself, delivering a CB radio-sounding jolt of cynicism from south of the border.
Wasting my vacation in a land of endless fun. Ain't no time for resting, this here party's just begun. Look at all the pretty people dancing in the bars. Look at all the homeless sleeping underneath the stars. I'm down in the Ratlands where the ocean ain't quite blue. Drown all the troubles that keep trying to bother you.
Finally, he commandeered the drum kit for most of the Isla Vista sessions, bashing out blunt backbeats for 7 Seaside songs. My material gave a very slight nod to the Bob Dylan albums I'd reabsorbed during summer of 1998. How Far Away and Sunset Down showed up soon after 2 awkward back-to-back breakups, feeling more like the holding pattern Dylan of Another Side than the classic Blood on the Tracks. How Far Away compensated a bit with a propulsive, bright tune. And some light acoustic guitar from Adam did the same for Sunset Down.
I've got to turn around and face the sunset down. I've got to turn around and face the sunset down. 'Cause the
Conversely, The Shivering Sand is an unapologetic lust jingle, driven by a slippery bass riff, a spiraling bridge, and some ice-cold surf guitar. Penultimate track, Pisces Lullaby, is a sincere but turgid morning song, as atmospheric as a Cure B-side, and almost as humorless. Bryn played a great slide riff, but that couldn't save this version of the song from clumsy lyricism and my weak, whispery vocal debut. The song sequence itself might be the most perfect of any Mojo Wire or Honey White album, but it also highlights the record's emotional isolation. It starts snappily enough with Key West Tapwater, How Far Away, and I Fly Free, then takes a brief detour into the jumpy grooves of Rock by the Magnum, before going back up-tempo for Baja Blues and settling side 1 calmly with Run Back to Me. Side 2 blasts off with the Kevin-powered Wipeout and groovy surf funk of the Ratlands, then plunges into minor key deep end with The Shivering Sand, So Cold, and Pisces Lullaby, before coming up for air on Sunset Down. The overall mood feels tidal, ebbing and flowing up to the final rip current that disproves the final line, "Nothing so wrong will happen today." The album's escapism gets fried, drenched, and tossed into a moldy Rosarito jail cell before cynically curdling into some seriously poisonous denial. We ultimately showed a subtlety on Seaside that we hadn't before, but that didn't survive the transition to actual live shows. The Mojo Wire's lineup shifted again in fall 1998 when we recruited guitarist Joe Zuli to beef up our sound. He did that in spades with excellent lefty Telecaster power chords, and we were all stoked to turn up the volume and match him. That worked great for our handful of gigs, but when the new Seaside songs got louder and faster, they lost almost all traces of the softer acoustic recorded versions, making the album itself seem like a mere precursor. And maybe it was a precursor after all. Despite the perfect sequence and unique position in the Mojo discography, Seaside hinted at deeper meaning without delivering that, alluded to historical importance without actually learning anything from it, and permanently imprisoned itself in a state of mind that only thrives on the slow creep of crippling nostalgia. Seaside Hamlet Skids was recorded and produced by the Mojo Wire in Dana Point and Isla Vista, California, from summer 1998 to spring 1999. The original analog recording and digital transfer was by me, Keir Dubois, in 1999. It was also remastered by me in January 2007 in My Band Rocks HQ in Ventura, California. The players were Adam Hill on vocals and guitar, Bryn Dubois on guitar, keyboard, drums, and vocals, me, Keir Dubois, on bass guitar, vocals, and backing vocals, and Kevin Narrison on drums. All songs written by the Mojo Wire and copyright 1999 with all rights reserved, except Wipeout by Merrill Fankhauser and the Impacts, 1962, rearranged by the Safaris, 1963. That's all for this episode of the My Band Rocks audio biography. My name is Keir Dubois. All recollections herein are mine, and if I'm wrong, I welcome any corrections or clarifications from my former bandmates, or anyone else who was there. I'll return with another episode soon. Follow my infrequent band posts at MyBandRocksPod on Instagram and Twitter, or visit mybandrocks.com for a little more info. Thanks for listening.